Yo, what's up everyone? We got the patch 11.3 notes for Teamfight Tactics. Let's see what Riot cooked up for us this week. It's a pretty small patch from what I'm seeing right here from this infographic, so let's just jump right into it since this probably won't really take that long. So traits Dragonsoul is getting a vengeful quality of life, or should I say death, improvement. What? Okay, Spirit 4 is losing some of its spirit. Slayer 6 is embracing its heavy metal late game identity. Alright, cool stuff. So yeah, Dragonsoul, it's been completely trash. You play 3 Dragonsoul. Braum's normally your melee unit in the front, and I don't know if you guys knew, but Dragonsoul units, the first unit to take damage gets a buff, so that's normally your Braum, so you don't want that happening. So it doesn't really do that much until you play something like a Shyvana, put her in the front line, and then she'll start attacking with a Dragon buff. But again, you really want the buff on like Tristana, but no one ever runs like 6 Dragonsoul where you get 3 buffs because it's really hard to get the buffs on the correct people. But upon passing the blessing after death, the ally's next basic attack will immediately trigger the Dragon Breath. So that's a pretty big buff because that's a lot of damage, especially early game. I suspect that 3 Dragonsoul is actually going to be really good in the early game now. That's a pretty good change. So it literally tackled everything I just complained about. So good on them. Divine buff duration. 3, 6, 9, 15 seconds, and instead of that, it'll just be 6 seconds across everything, and the divine buff damage reduction and true damage is now going to be scaling instead of a flat 45%. I think that this is a nerf. Like, is there really, maybe like for tankiness, you want the divine buff now? For the damage, I don't think it actually increases your damage by that much. But we'll have to see. I'd rather, for example, if I were going 6 Divine, I'd rather have 9 seconds of 45% than 6 seconds of 55%. That's just me, but it seems like that's a lot better. If I go 8 Divine, maybe 65% damage reduction is worth it, and bonus damage. But 15 seconds is a long time. That's like the whole fight, so I'd rather have longer duration than more strength. We'll have to see how it plays out in practice. Divine's right now played in Duelist and in Kale comps, and sometimes in the Nasus comps, so it definitely does affect quite a few compositions. Spirit attack speed, alright, Spirit's pretty broken. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you just attack really quickly, you put 4 Spirit units in, and they nerfed 4 Spirit, and I like that they did this. They didn't touch 2 Spirit at all. 2 Spirit was pretty fine, in my opinion, but they only nerfed 4 Spirit, and they just docked it by 5%, so good change there. Man, it's almost as if like someone else is doing all the patch changes compared to previous sets. Slayer lifesteal 15 to 30 and 25 to 50 at 6 Slayer is being changed to 15 to 30 and 30 to 60%. So this is a buff to 6 Slayer, and we have another buff to 6 Slayer down here. 3 Slayer stays untouched. And yeah, no one ever went 6 Slayer. I remember going for a Slayer build, and I had my friend in Discord with me, and I was telling him, by the way, join the Discord, discord.gg/BunnyMuffins. And I was telling him, I was like, yo, I'm trying to go some Olaf build. Is it 3 Slayer or 6 Slayer? He's like, dude, never go 6 Slayer. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. They're trash. So it's like, maybe there's a little bit of incentive to do this now, but the Slayer units are just so bad. You think about them, it's like, well, they're not bad, but they need to be itemized to be good, and you only get so many items in every game. So if you're thinking about the Slayer units, it's like Zed, Darius, Olaf, Tryndamere, and Samira. On their own, the units are all good except for Darius. Oh, and Pyke's another one. Sorry, Pyke. Pyke is the only actual good one because he provides CC. So for units who are Slayers without items, Pyke's the only playable one. For everyone else, there's MasterCard. No, I'm just kidding. You have like, you need to itemize Samira, you need to itemize Olaf, you need to itemize Tryndamere, you need to itemize Zed, and you don't want to be playing Darius. So, and I guess if you are playing Darius, like you need to itemize him too. But you don't get 20 item components in a game to itemize everyone. So it's just impossible to play 6 Slayer without playing some useless units. So I don't think this buff is going to actually fix them. They might have actually needed to do something more extreme here in order to get people to play 6 Slayer. Now onto the champions. So tier 1, the changes are meant to empower some of the underperforming units. All right. Here are some underperforming brand dead jokes to accompany them. Okay, they already made a joke by telling they're going to make a joke. What do you call an angry fire on a shooting range? A ranging fire? Okay, that wasn't that good. I think this joke was better than the actual joke, but all right. Brand gets more attack range, so that's pretty good. Doesn't do anything game breaking. I don't know if you guys tried it before, but Brand with Luden's early game with Mage buff actually destroys a lot of people, even through like stage 4. If you get like 2 Ludens on him by that time, he one-shots a lot of people. I'm not saying to force this, but I'm saying if you do get a lot of Ludens and you get Brand chosen early and you don't want to transition out of it yet, it's worth something to explore, because I'll probably be releasing a replay later. Hopefully I still have that game where I did that, and it was pretty much smacking everyone and just allowed me to get a fast 8 and eventually a fast 9 to win that game. So Elise is getting changed. Now her spider form increases the cost of her target's next spell by 35%, and that 3-star 50%, so they're giving her Mana Reaver. And then her health is being reduced to accompany that change. So she's getting nerfed at 1 and 2-star, health is staying the same at 3-star. Maybe we see more Elise. She's kind of just a keeper bot. Keepers are really strong early, but no one really cares about what Elise does. She does nothing. But now she Mana Reaves, so maybe that does like a little bit more for her. Tristana, yeah, Tristana chosen. Notice how like the 2 Dragonsoul chosens are completely useless. Tristana and Brand. Well, no, Brand is playable, but like only if you get Mage. But Tristana, yeah, she's just terrible. She gets a buff on her attack speed. That's not going to do anything for her. It's really hard to play Trist. I don't know how to make her that great. I don't know what numbers these would have to be in order to make her actually one that you're looking out for. What do you call a Mad Diana? A Lunartic? Dude, these jokes are so bad. Like... Okay. Diana, pale cascade orbs now spawn further away from her body when she increases in size. So now you can stack double Titan's Resolve on her. It only took them a set and a week to fix this, or a set and 2 weeks to fix this. So I'm glad that they eventually did it, because building double Titan's Resolve on Diana, even though those are theoretically really good items on her, it just didn't work out in practice because her orbs wouldn't hit anyone. But now they fixed it, so Titans is going to be really good on her. And I love the Diana Spirit builds. You guys know I like reroll, so it's like, this is going to be great for her because I like doing that stuff. So tier 3, okay, one more. What's Darius's favorite beverage? A guillotine with extra damage. They're really forcing these too much. I know they're like kind of purposely making bad jokes, but they're not even executing that well. So let me know down in the comments, like, did you find any of these actually funny? The only one I found kind of funny was Brand dead jokes, but that wasn't even supposed to be one of the jokes. So let me know in the comments. Like, okay, but Darius gets a little more damage at 2-star and 3-star, but not much. So he's still useless. But it's back to the point I was talking about before with all the Slayers. Like, Darius is just, it's just bad. This is part of making our Mana Reave system consistent. Shroud to Stillness mana cost increase, so it's a slight buff, 2%. All right, and bugs. I was not the first to reach Challenger. I know we're all disappointed, but let's still give it up for Coralie. Is that a bug? I don't know. Okay, whatever the case. If you guys didn't know, I actually did a article with Coralie, or a video, discussing the Elderwood mage composition that Coralie pretty much pioneered. And you guys can check that out. I'll leave a link in the description below, of course, and a card over here, or I don't know, over here. My camera's inverted. But yeah, this patch doesn't really change that much, which I'm pretty happy about because I feel like the game's pretty balanced. The only issue is that reroll kind of takes over everything. So I'm going to be releasing a video, how to get to Masters using only reroll. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. It has some of my games, some of my friends' games who just hit Masters. But it's going to be very similar to the last patch. So if you enjoyed last patch, you're going to have a fun time. If you didn't, maybe you have to wait 2 more weeks. But maybe you don't. Maybe someone invents a new composition because people are always innovating. It's just sad how I feel like in TFT especially, once a meta set, no one dares to try change it. And I think that's really bad long-term for the game. And it's the players' fault. I just don't see any of the top players who actually like try to invent stuff. They just follow whatever one other top player did who's doing well in the patch, and then everyone copies that player. No one tries to like really counter it. There are maybe like 5 people total that I know of in the NA server that try to do this, for example. But there are like 500 people who could probably compete for top 100, but only like 5 of them are actually trying to innovate. The rest of them, they just watch whoever, and then they just try to copy them as much as possible. And yeah, there is a skill in that, but I don't think it actually boosts any creativity within the game or any sort of creating any groundbreaking strategies. If you guys remember Polt, he kind of played the game without watching anyone, and he invented his whole style. He got to the top of the ladder, and then everyone started copying him. But I guess it's really hard to invent your own style, since a lot of players have just been copying their whole lives, and if they lose their rank a little bit, they're like very disappointed, and the fastest way to get better is to copy people and not invent something on your own. But in the long term, it's always better to invent, because then you learn more on the way. But regardless, enough of that. Small patch. I'll be releasing the meta snapshot on Friday. I'll be uploading some videos about how to get to master using only reroll within the next couple of days, and hopefully we get another guide from like a top player on this channel sometime this weekend, so definitely look out for that. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.